So this is Prey. This is the actual release. I'll be honest, I didn't mean to actually pick this game up, but GameFi kind of came through, and I actually was able to get it right at launch. So I'm going to go ahead and go through it. I'm going to pick this game up right where I left off on the demo. Didn't seem like it needed to be duplicated again in a video. The graphics are about the same, and I don't feel like there was actually a PS4 Pro patch. I feel like the graphics were about the same as they were in the demo.
As a reminder, all personnel
The story behind that, in case you haven't seen the first one, we basically wake up when we're doing these trials, and then all of a sudden when we come into here, we learn that basically every time you do a neural mod, which is basically the upgrades in this game, you basically go forward. But if somebody were to take a neural mod out, you go back to your memory goes back to the time when you basically first installed that mod. So you can lose, months at a time. And it looks like that's what somebody did to us. And we were trying to basically look at this, and somebody very mysterious keeps coming over our intercom named January, and they're basically, we find out who that is, and we're talking, this was basically a video that we made ourselves to kind of warn ourself, I guess. But they're saying, hey, January is basically somebody that we made. It's an operations guy. Don't trust Alex. And then Alex comes over and he says, no, please hear me out. So now it's like, what the heck is going on? So that's where we are right now. Kind of get you up to speed to where we were if you haven't seen that first video. I did pick up some of these, basically these badges that you can get into certain areas. And before we go too much further, I do want to apologize for my voice. I had some crazy sickness. I've been sick for about 2 weeks now. Still can't hear out of my left ear for some reason, and my voice is still kind of a little scratchy, so I do apologize for that. So there's some turrets in here. Eventually, apparently, you can either carry them or hack them, and I'm not sure what the hacking actually does, but at this stage anyway. There's a couple things in these offices. This was like a Bellamy's office, I think. And then, let's see. It's a mimic. There's a mimic over here. Turret. Turret. That's kind of a good strategy, especially in the early stages. I'll go ahead and show you some of these weapons that I was able to pick up. There was a fabricator in our office, which basically you can get rid of your junk, if you will. So what we have here is combat focus. That actually slows down time. Basically gives you a fighting chance against these mimics. I have a wrench right now. The glue gun doesn't actually do any damage. It just basically freezes them temporarily, and then you can start whacking away on them with your wrench. The stun gun is only good on humans, and I haven't encountered any of those yet. The Huntress Boltcaster that I got the plans for is actually a toy gun that is harmless, and I was kind of pissed off about that. And then I got the EMP charge, so I was kind of looking forward to this Boltcaster. I was like, heck yeah, finally I get a nice gun, and then it ends up being a fake. So we did get this kind of popped up. So this is the combat basics. It kind of gives you some nice tips here. Basically, the glue cannon that I was talking about earlier, it shoots this glue and kind of freezes them, like I said, but they can eventually get out. But it's a very, very nice way to freeze an enemy and kind of kill them temporarily. I mean, kind of like freeze them temporarily so you can whack them with your wrench, I would say. So there are a lot of mimics in here, and we're going to go ahead and deploy the runaway tactic. Let this turret do its job.
Proximity sensor reset.
I'm playing on normal mode, and I've actually found that it's really, really difficult. I found, as far as the health, the little mimics take quite a bit of health out of you, especially in the beginning when all you get is there's another mimic there. I was hoping to lure him out of there. But they take quite a bit of health off of you for being such a relatively small kind of animal, or whatever you want to call them, thing. And, oh, here's our, we got a 9mm now. But it is, just to let you guys know, it is a pretty difficult game in the beginning if you're playing on normal, so at least I thought so. And I think it's also because the combat is really stiff, in my opinion. I think they could have done a little better job of that, but I think it's going to mimic a lot of... If you played Fallout series, you know, if you've played the Skyrim and things like that, you know that the combat is not probably as rewarding as like a Halo or a combat, or I mean a Call of Duty combat. Let's take this used cigar. So before I go too far into there, I'm going to show you that fabricator, I think, again. Actually, we're right here. Let's go ahead and go through there. That would be one of my complaints. I think the story is actually rather engaging so far. I think it's really interesting. And the complaint I guess I have right now, like I said, would be that the combat is a little stiff. I wonder if I could lure him. I feel like this is one of those like kind of games like the old Resident Evils. Like you're not gonna have a whole lot of ammo in the game, and it's like I hate to throw that away. All right, this does not look good. I think that was a phantom. And the phantoms are like a huge mimic, and they are very, very difficult to kill. And they shoot these like beams at you, and it is actually pretty difficult. I actually killed one of them, and it was not fun. These used cigars and all this kind of stuff that I'm picking up, it will be useful in the fabricator that I'll show you here, or the recycler, excuse me. And you can end up making parts with it that way. Where the heck did he go? It's like they're just playing with me at this point. Let's well, they're not attacking. They're just like running over. I'm gonna go this way on the sky bridge. Let's see what's over here real quick. Sails. So here we are. Let's see. Sails. Okay. Oh crap. So that is kind of one of those phantoms that I was talking about, except for that was like a named guy. His name is Yuri. And I gotta tell you, those guys are freaking tough. And I really don't want to fight them because I don't think I'm equipped at this stage to do it. Let me see. How much does this do? Firepower. I'll go ahead and show you a little bit of the combat, and if I die, I die. I'll just show you what I've got. But basically, you want to use this glue gun. And then I was actually I was using the wrench earlier, but that was before I got this silenced gun. Okay, that's not too bad with the gun. I don't think I got him. But he's not up here anymore. Now, it's kind of weird. I don't know what you're supposed to do, but there's actually a trophy for not killing any of the humans. And I don't know if that counts as a human, considering his name is Yuri. And you have to kind of wonder if he got turned into that, basically. Oh, I wonder if this is that stupid thing that all these engineers are trying to, like the space elevator. This is the stupidest thing. Look it up, and I mean, make your own opinion, I guess, on it. But you'll start to realize how absolutely asinine the idea is of this space elevator that we can basically take from Earth to the moon. I think is what it is. I don't know what these flowers actually did either, but I was able to put those in the recycler as well. What the hell? Here, let me heal up real quick. So some of the items that you can heal up with, besides the med kits that I have right here, are actually these apples, and then this banana that I have right here. That gives me up to 30. At the very bottom, right by my name, you can see the health. I'm gonna go ahead and use this health kit pack too. Crazy little shit. These guys aren't too bad. They just they move around a lot. And like I said, the combat is just so stiff when you're trying to fight them. It's really, really kind of difficult. So I actually made this trip caster, and there's one right here. So it's kind of, guess what's the point? That's the neural mod. That's the application. That's kind of, it's a scary process because it's like this like spike. If you've seen it in the, I think it showed it in the first part in the demo that I was playing earlier, and it was pretty scary because it was like all of a sudden all this this like spikes like going into your eye. I mean, it looks ridiculous. It's like crazy. One month pay to make it go away. So that was Yuri. That was the guy that we were actually fighting. That was his computer there. That was kind of interesting. So I don't have the correct key card for that yet. I have found two. I found one for the... It was like a teleconferencing, I think is what it was. And then another one for like the surgery ward, I think is what it was. Let me see if I can... These used cigars, like I said, those also go into the recycler, and then you'll actually be able to... You make these like materials, basically, is what it is, and then you can make other stuff with that. Ooh, I will take some drinks. Now, these drinks can actually heal you as well, which is kind of nice. It's not too much, but 5 points of health, you know, it comes in handy, I think. It's better than using all your med kits. I'm kind of a pack rat when it comes to these games, and I think, you know, because Fallout and Skyrim, you know, those are some of my favorite games. I'm definitely a big fan of Bethesda, their style of games that they make. And
to schedule an appointment in the trauma center.
I wonder if that broke. Did that look... Yeah, it was. That's probably why he fell. Because I broke that. So he's probably wandering down there. But anyway, I just love their style. I love the open world. I love that they kind of reward you for exploring. Let's go ahead and kill this guy. Got some shotgun sales from here. So I think, I don't know, like I said, I actually wasn't planning on picking this up because the demo was, it didn't like wow me per se. I didn't think it was a bad game, it just like wasn't one that I was prepared to pay. I have Amazon Prime, so usually I've been buying all my games through that, but it ends up being like $47.99. It just didn't seem like a $50 game. I was going to rent it, and like I said, GameFly kind of came through, and so I was able to get that one at launch, which is the first game I've actually been able to get. I've been pretty disappointed actually so far with it, but so malfunction. Let me see. I only need repair 1 for that, but it's actually through here. Let me go ahead and show you the mods real quick, because I did pick up quite a few of those. So these are the neural mods, and as you pick up more and more, I have 4 of them currently. The first tier, such as like, so my engineer and things like that, as you can see, it only costs 1 neural mod, and then eventually it's going to cost 4, and then 8, and you know, so on and so forth. So some of these increases your recycling yield. This allows me to repair. I can get better stealth. I can, let's see, better run. I can now hack level 2 things. The hacking is pretty nice. I've been able to find some pretty good stuff, such as some ammo. I think, and then with hacking, I think it's level 2. You can start hacking robots and turrets, if I remember correctly. So let's go ahead and do this repair 1, because I think that is going to do us some good. And then from there, I think I might increase my health, because I've been finding my I've been running out of health pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and repair. We do have spare parts, and this is a recycler I was talking about. There's one in my office, and it actually has. This is one of the games. I can't stand when games don't do this, but there's been a few lately, and it's like, what is junk and what is not? This one actually, you transfer your junk. Go over here. Hit recycle. And then you pick up all your goods over here, and it gives you, like, materials, basically. And then you'll use that to actually make new weapons and things like that. So it's kind of cool. So hardware lab. So this is where the guy was. Probably shouldn't be throwing that. Here, like I said, is to go to this Dr. Calvino's workshop, and the reason why is there's a... That's weird. Corrupted. That's the first time I've seen that. That's a little alarming. But basically, right in the middle of our video feed that I was talking about earlier when we very first started this video, it got cut off, and this Alex guy was like, I don't want you to look at that. I don't think you really need to see, you know, what's on that video. And then that January guy comes over our intercom, you know, our little, I guess, our info link or whatever you want to call it, and he says, hey, if you can get into this lab, this, you know, this area, and you know that this is what Dr. Calvino did, was the servers and all that kind of stuff. You can basically hack in and see what the rest of that video is. That's kind of our purpose right now. Terrifying. So it requires dismantle if I were to do that. Now, it did say suit integrity. Let's go ahead and see. We got Hope here, who left us. It looks like, oh, it's just a rich. Suit repair, but I don't think I have any more. Let me see if I can. No, I don't have any more of those. But eventually, you'll have to basically. My suit integrity is down to 6, and you can basically think of that as armor. Let me go ahead and get my health up. Those corrupted guys are kind of wicked. Not what I was expecting. I would say, like, as far as if you like what type of game this is, like I said, if you like Bethesda style games, like if you love, like for me, like I said before, I love the Fallout series. I love Elder Scrolls. Really enjoyed Skyrim and Oblivion and Morrowind and things like that. But if you like those type of games, I think you'll find this one somewhat rewarding. It's not quite as the open world as Skyrim and Fallout are. It doesn't quite have that open world feel. Like you still have to this is a little more linear, I guess, than the games they've typically made, but still pretty fun. Still multiple ways to attack something. There's still multiple ways to get, you know, they reward you for that kind of thing. I think it's really, really cool. Can I look through the telescope? Oh, cool. Can't rotate it. That looks like I could put a trap over here, if I had to guess. Kind of reminds me of BioShock, where you could like light everything on fire. Let's stay out of the range of that guy, because that was actually a little more difficult than I thought to actually kill. So the favorites reel they're talking about is just, that's what I showed you earlier. I might switch to my pistol, but I hate using that kind of stuff because I haven't really found very much ammo. Yeah. remember he exploded last time, so I was like, better back up on that one. It's a freaky little game because every time like the music comes on or you eventually get kind of afraid to pick things up because there's been a mimic or two that like looks like a gun. It's really really freaky. Like I said, it's just not, it's an interesting game. I'll say that. So this one is new. I've never seen this. Crew 26. Oops. This one, oh, there's actually somebody that might be alive here. Cool. So I guess I can go over here. I don't know if that actually updated. Let's go ahead and see if our objectives here. No, it sure didn't. I wish it kept giving you the different objectives, so I'll have to come back and do this one at a time, so that's going to be kind of annoying. Oh boy. There's that Phantom I was talking about earlier, and these guys are pretty tough. The best method I found to do it was use your glue gun, and then, as you saw earlier with that Yuri guy, we don't have a keypad for that one, but well, that was kind of stupid. I probably should have walked through there, like alerted everybody I was here. I just saw a mimic. I just saw you. Hardware labs. Oh, this is really good. Nothing I can do because I can't can't save them. That kind of sucks. Did I like fall down in here? That's okay. Nothing I can do to save that guy. That kind of sucks. Let's see. So there's not enough space for all the beer. Probably don't need it anyway. Well, I'm guessing this is the two ways to go, so I'll probably have to go. It's the other one I didn't have a key card for. What's this? Miramod? Here, let's go ahead. I think I've got some room because there's got to be some way. If not, I'll go back to that fabricator. Or I'll just drop some of this other stupid stuff. Cures fear. That's kind of funny. I feel like the neuromod's going to be more important than the food, but... Well, that was the two ways. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll... Huh. Can't get in there yet. Let's see. Maybe we'll just go back and save this guy over here then. Unless there's like a way to go. I've seen a couple of the keypads. Now, it doesn't... I feel like it doesn't register like it did with Deus Ex on these keypads, but you basically... You're like this little circle when you go to hack, and you just like go around the wall. It's like super simple. It's kind of laughable how easy that was. They made it. Well, I guess I'll go save that guy. I think that's going to do it for this part, though. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. Oh, take some frayed wire. And I'm pick back up here in a little bit. I'll do a part 3. I hope this was kind of helpful in showing you the actual full release of the game and things like that. And appreciate it for watching. And thanks.